Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Happy Friday. If you are new to my channel, most Fridays throughout the year, I have a series on my channel called Post Review Friday, which is where I talk to you about a diamond painting that I recently finished, what I liked, what I didn't like, maybe something that I would have liked to have changed. It's kind of just all of my thoughts on a completed diamond painting. So today, we are talking about Indigo from DreamerDesigns. This is an image by the artist Kurtis Rykovich. It is a 60 centimeter by 80 centimeter round drill diamond painting. I started this one on October 1st and I finished it on October 8th. I did move through this one pretty quickly, which was nice. I can't say the same for my current whip. I planned 3 kits for the month and I'm getting to that point where I'm starting to get nervous that I'm not going to be able to finish all 3 of them, which would make me very sad. But anyway, I have worked on, at this point it has to be, I'm thinking this is number 6 of the Kurtis Rykovich images from DreamerDesigns. I very much enjoy his artwork. I tend to work on it mainly during September or October. I find that he does a lot of these like witchy type of paintings and I really do enjoy them. This one is one I believe that came out in 2023. I think it came out like last fall, if I'm not mistaken. I just didn't have time to work on it, so it's been on my list for the entire year as one that I really wanted to work on in October. I actually picked this one to work on during an event that was hosted last year. I assumed that it was going to be hosted this year, and that is the Cats and Bats event. So that is why I picked this one, due to my lack of research. I didn't know until I had already started this one that they weren't hosting the event this year, but regardless, I was still really excited to work on it. So as far as this kit is concerned, let's talk about some of the things that I didn't love. I did struggle with some blurry symbols on the canvas, which I'm pretty sure I took a picture of, so I will go ahead and insert that here. If there's no picture, it's not because I forgot, it's because I didn't take one, but I'm like 95% sure that I took one as I was working on the first row. I like to start my diamond paintings in the bottom right-hand corner. So it was something that I noticed very, very early on. I believe it was, I'm looking at the drills here to see if I can remember what the symbol was, but it's not coming to me. So hopefully I do have the picture and I'm popping it up here. There were a ton of really dark blues, which I think a lot of times when people see these really dark diamond paintings, they assume that it's all black. It's not, generally. Sometimes it is, but it's not always a bunch of black. A lot of the times you'll be working with a ton of dark blues. And sometimes the way that the symbol is printed on top of those darker the darker backgrounds can be hard to decipher. So it was really just, they were just a tad bit fuzzy, and I didn't love that, but the symbols were different enough, if I'm remembering correctly, that I was still able to tell what it was, but it was kind of like messing with my eyes a little bit. So in terms of the canvas symbol clarity, it wasn't great. Which, just offhand, I can't remember if that's a problem I usually have with DreamerDesigns. I want to say no. I know that DreamerDesigns can sometimes be like really oversaturated on the canvas. I didn't experience that, so I don't know. It just seemed a bit fuzzy. So there's that. I did also have a bunch of drills that were clumping. Now, when I kitted this one up, I don't recall having a bunch of static. Which normally if you have static, then it's kind of an indicator that eventually your drills will clump together. Why can't I think of any other words? It's been a long week. Let's just leave it at that. I didn't have a ton of static, so I wasn't really expecting it to be, the drills to be as clumpy as they were, but unfortunately it happens. It's not the end of the world. I was able to push through. I just kind of put the clumping drills into a different container, and then I worked with the ones that weren't, and I never had to go back to the clumping ones. So that is good. I didn't run out of any colors, which was also great. We love to see that. As far as the trash, I'm looking to see if I can find my trash drills. And why don't I see them? Oh, because they're in here. Okay, got it. I mean, I had a decent amount of trash, but this is a 60 by 80, so I don't feel like this is, I always say egregious when I talk about trash drills. I don't feel like this is a ton. I mean, it's definitely trash. A lot of it was drills that had like extra material that was pooling at the bottom, or we have a bunch of just misshapen pieces. Nothing crazy. I definitely could have pulled more trash out of the drills, but sometimes it's just not necessary. But I did have a fair amount of trash. There it is there. But like I mentioned, I had plenty of every color, so it wasn't like I was having to work with crappy drills because I was afraid of running out. That was not a problem for me. I'll show you guys what I had left. If you're seeing empty containers like here and here, it's because I had that DMC stretched out across a bunch of colors. So for example, this was all 310. I used these 4, and I was left with about half a container left. This one got a little hairy, I will say. I had 4 containers of 939, and this is what I was left with. But I was pretty confident that I wasn't going to run out of anything. I'm going to talk to you guys about the things that I liked, and then I will also show you what the ABs were and where they were located. Now, I am somebody who has had, how do I want to say it? I have worked on a number of Dreamer Designs kits at this point, and I do not like their square drills. I think I've been pretty candid about that on my channel. I avoid kits with their squares. I do have some in my stash. Some of the Kurtis images, I should say most of the Kurtis images honestly have come out in square. And if I love them enough, I will pick them up. But I much prefer Dreamer Designs round drills. And their rounds are some of my absolute favorite on the market. I think that they're very sparkly. I think that they're really pretty. I think that they look very nice on the canvas. I like the way that they fit together. I like the way they look. So I'm a big fan of the round kits. But how do I want to say this? I'm struggling with my words today. I really am struggling with my words today. It's been a heck of a week, but we'll talk about that in Monday's video. The drills on this kit were good, but they weren't as great as I'm used to with Dreamer Designs. Now, this is a kit, like I mentioned, that I purchased in 2023. Could there have been something going on? Maybe. This was one of the first kits that I got from them that, actually, is this their new? I think this was their new kit. I don't have the box anymore. Now I'm second guessing. Yes, it was, because it's the fuzzy. Gosh, I think this was the new. I'm gonna have to go back and watch my unboxing for this one. I believe that this was one of their kits that came out with the newer packaging and the new canvas and all that stuff. So could there have been like a little blip when they were switching everything over? Yes, but the drills were still good. They just weren't as good as I'm used to. But I will still stand by my statement of Dreamer Designs being some of my favorite rounds on the market. Hopefully that whole little sequence there made sense, because I feel like I just spit out a bunch of words and I don't know that I made sentences. So, okay. I wrote here, I love the rounds, but sometimes, what does that say? Sometimes be size too big. I think that's what I'm missing an O. Yes. So sometimes they are too big. There you go. Sometimes it can feel a little bit tight. Like if you're familiar with a square diamond painting, you get that like click when you put one in that's around a bunch of other square drills, and it just feels very satisfying. Sometimes the rounds in this one were just a bit too big, and I was kind of worried about lines not being straight and things being a little off kilter, but all in all, I think it came out really, really well. Now, let me just tell you guys about my thoughts on this diamond painting as a whole. I think that she's really cool. I will go ahead and pop up a full-length image for you guys here. From a distance, you're seeing like the main part, but obviously you're not seeing all of it. There is a skull down here in the bottom. I think she turned out really, really cool. I always love the hair colors and the texture of the hair that Kurtis does on his paintings. I think it's really, really cool. I love the yellow into like the neon green and then down into the blue. I love her face. I think her eyes came out super cool. Her lips look awesome. They look really glossy. I think the cat looks really neat with his eyes that are the same color as the hair. The only thing that I will say about the overall rendering is, in my opinion, sometimes when the diamond paintings are this dark, it can be a bit hard to decipher everything that's going on. So everything kind of being this really dark, dark, dark blue with all the black, they all just kind of like blended in together. So obviously her hair stands out and her eyes stand out, but the rest of it is kind of just really blue, blue and purple. I wish that her hat stuck out a little bit better from the image. I wish the cat was a bit more prominent, but that isn't necessarily Dreamer Designs' problem. That's more, I shouldn't say problem. It's not necessarily their rendering, it's the original art, which I would never come for an artist's original art. If that's how Mr. Kurtis Rykovich decided to paint it, then that's that. However, if you do look at the original artwork, it looks like there's like a weird fog on my camera. I do feel like she sticks out a little bit more on the original artwork than she does in the diamond painting, if that makes sense. I just feel like she kind of blends a bit into the background. But like I said, I did really enjoy working on her. I feel like I finished her quite quickly. Dreamer Designs usually is pretty good for color blocking. There wasn't a ton of confetti. There was a lot of line work, a lot of line blocking, if you will. And I refer to that when I can get in there with a multi-placer. And even though maybe I'm not doing like a massive chunk of the same color, I'm doing a bunch of lines that I can use like a 7 or a 10 placer with. So I do feel like I was able to finish her really quickly, and I think she turned out so cool. She is very, very cool. She's not my favorite damsel. My favorite is still Salem. I did her 2 years ago, and that is just, oh, she is the coolest. But I did really enjoy this one, and I think she turned out really pretty. I think her necklace came out very nice as well. So that is everything on the diamond painting itself. Let me share with you guys my accessories for this one. I will admit my accessories don't match perfectly, but like I mentioned at the start of the video, I decided to tie in accessories to go with the cats and bats theme. But again, that event didn't happen, but I was too lazy to change out my accessories. So I used a black tray from Catproof. This is the Lean Boy size. My pen is from Jim's Handmade Pen Shop, and these are holographic bats. I don't know if you can see that, but very cool. One of my Halloween pens. I was working on this kit, or I was starting it, right as the news broke that Maggie Smith, who played Professor McGonagall in Harry Potter, had passed away. So I decided to use this Hogwarts cover minder that I have. I believe I got this from Galloway's Gallery. I thought it still kind of fit the painting. We do have the moon, and she has that like sideways moon on her forehead, and I thought the color palette just kind of matched, so I went for it. My putty is Sugar Crystals from Painting with Pitties. Unfortunately, Brie is no longer making putty, so that is a bummer. And then my washi tape, again, with the bats. We have some silver holographic bats on this like blue and black night sky washi tape. So that is everything for today's post review. I'll go ahead and pop up another full-length image for you guys here. I think all in all, I do think that she turned out really well. I'm so excited that I was able to work on her this year. I love just, you know, slowly but surely getting through my Kurtis Rykovich stash with Dreamer Designs. So let me know what you guys think about this finish. Let me know if you've completed this one, or maybe you're working on another damsel this month. I am hoping and praying that I get to the second damsel that I want to work on in October. Like I mentioned, my current whip is taking a bit longer. I haven't had as much diamond painting time as I thought I would. Real life is getting in the way. So hopefully I can finish that one so I can get to my second Kurtis image for the month. With that, I will be back with you guys on Monday. I'm not sure if it will be a kitten chat or a whippin' chat. We'll see how the rest of this week goes. And I hope everybody has a great weekend, and I will see you all in Monday's video. Bye.